Hi guys, welcome everyone. My name is Vera and today I'm going to show you how to draw our realistic candy cane right here. So before we start, let's go through all our supplies to make sure we have everything that we're going to need for today. And guys, remember this is a video tutorial, so it's pre-recorded, we're not live. So feel free to pause it at any point. Or you can even just watch me do it first and then do it later at your own convenience. And just remember, I'm going to be going at my own pace. If you want to go slower, you're welcome to pause the video at any point and just resume whenever you're ready. All right, so let's move on to our supplies. First thing you're going to need is paper. I'm going to be using this drawing paper. I'm going to be using pretty small size. I would say it's 8 by 10 inch, but you definitely can go bigger if you prefer. I think this is a perfect size. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper here. Actually, I'll keep it on this thing. All right, next thing you're going to need is a pencil. You're going to need just a regular HB pencil of any kind for our sketching, for the initial sketch. And also you're going to need 3 to 4 colored pencils of your choice. I'm going to be using just the reds and black and optionally brown. If you guys decide to go with different color for your candy cane and for the bow, you may include more colors. For example, if you want to go with a red candy cane but make a green bow, you're welcome to grab 2 different shades of green. So we're gonna need 2 different shades of whichever color you choose for the bow, and 2 different shades of color for the candy cane. Yeah, so again, in my case, that's going to be just a red. And you also going to need black as must-have color. And you can use optional brown. So I'm going to have optional brown. So let me show you. I'm going to, oh, no, this one already has colors on it. Let me show you somewhere right here. So here are my reds. Here's my bright red, my lighter version of red. Here's what I'm going to be using. You see, it's like a nice, really vibrant red. My second red is going to be a dark red. And guys, if all you have is one red, that's okay too. You can still do this even with just one shade of red. But ideally, of course, you want to have 2 shades. So that's my second shade of red. As you can see, just a bit darker. Optional brown. My brown is really dark. It almost looks like black. And straight black. So let me show you those closer. This is what it looks like. All right, so those are the colors that I'm going to be using. I'm going to put them aside for now. And you can use absolutely any brand of pencils. There's no particular brand that you have to use. And of course, we're going to start with our just regular HB pencil, and we're going to sketch our candy cane and our bow. Now, another thing you guys going to need is ruler. That's optional. You don't have to have it, but it would be a nice addition because then you might have easier time making straight candy cane. So I grabbed my ruler. It's very, very long ruler, but that's all I got, so I'm gonna use it. And of course, eraser, very important to have. And another optional thing that I highly recommend you grab is a Q-tip. And we're gonna use that as a smudger. So, and that's it. That's pretty much all our set that we're gonna need for today. So first thing we're gonna do is we're going to sketch our candy cane. And by the way, guys, I'm gonna be showing you this image every now and then, but feel free to refer to this image on your right on top of your screen. That one is better quality anyway, because I took that picture in a daylight outside, and this one is, you know, with a regular indoor lighting, which is not the best. So, all right, we're gonna start by just, mapping out where our candy cane is going to go. And I would say just maybe somewhere right here. So right in the middle. Just, that's me mapping out where my candy cane is gonna go. And then when you kind of positioned it, go in and sketch it. So do you see super light? Because this is just our initial sketch. Oh, and by the way, guys, just in case any of you are wondering, the video will remain here on our YouTube pretty much forever, so you can come back and do it any other time too. All right, and this is where I'm gonna use my ruler. Right, I'm gonna make my lines fairly dark so you guys can see them. However, I highly recommend sketching as light as you possibly can. You don't want to see those lines in the end. Yeah, you want to barely see them in the end. So again, even though I'm gonna be making my darker so you guys can see it better, yours need to be as light as you can get it. I'm actually gonna lighten up mine once we move to using the colored pencils. But for now, I'm gonna make it darker just so it's a bit more visible on a video. All right, so that's my base for candy cake, and take your time. Don't rush through this. Whenever you're happy with it, then continue. If you're not happy, just continue working on it until you're happy with it. And I'm gonna add my bow somewhere around here. So I'm gonna start by adding that little middle line. So something like this, just like a triangle almost. And then I'm gonna add one side, second side, and the little tails. All right, so I have my tails. Give a little fold here, a little fold there. Again, clean up my lines, erase everything that I don't want. Finalize this one right here. I'm gonna add a little opening on top. So just a little opening there. You could add opening on top here. It's not on my original drawing, but you could add it if you wanted to. add a little fold right here, a little fold right here, maybe a little one here and here too. All right, my bow is done. You can have your bow bigger, smaller, any other shape. It's totally up to you, whatever is your personal preference. And I'm gonna go back to my candy cane now, and I'm gonna add those swirls. So basically, how you're gonna do it, let me show you a kind of simplified version, and more broken down into smaller details. I'm not gonna do like how I'm going to show you every single one. I'm gonna do them much faster than that, but I just want to show you just a breakdown for how you do it. So basically, you need to follow the shape of a candy cane, right? So you start by putting almost a straight line. So let me make it darker than it should be, right? And then you curve it to this side and curve it to this side. So curve, curve. The next one is the same, but slightly on a different angle every single time. So straight line, then curve, curve. And you just continue doing that. Straight line, curve, curve. Straight line, curve, curve. Straight line, curve, curve. So again, I'm just gonna do it much faster than this. I'm not gonna be doing straight line, curve, curve. This is just a basic breakdown. If it's easy for you, if you start doing this and you're like, oh, this is easy peasy, just go for it. You don't have to continue doing that. Just add them in. And just continue breaking your candy cane into those little chunks. And try to do them as light as you can as well. All of this we're trying to do super light. And what I'm actually gonna do here is I'm looking at it and I feel like this part is a little too short. Let's make it longer. Let's make our candy cane longer. All right, I feel better about this. Awesome. And I'm gonna just break it down on those little swirly parts. All right, then, there goes my candy cane. Okay, so now that I have everything sketched, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lighten up the entire sketch. So I'm gonna make it as light as I can. All right, do you see? Super light. You can still see my lines, but just somewhat, and that's exactly where you want to be. You want to have it this light. So that's a proper amount of lightness. Awesome. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start laying out our color, and we're gonna start laying out our grays. So I'm gonna start with the grays. And guys, you're welcome to use either your black or your brown, or if you're fancy and you have a really nice fancy set of pencils, you can even use gray if you have that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my brown. And why I prefer brown here, because brown is a little bit of a softer color than black, so it doesn't have that hardness to it. And as you remember, my brown is not really like a really warm or really browny brown. It's almost like dark brown or like grayish brown. It's very dull and kind of dim, just dark and foggy and dusty kind of color. I like that as alternative to black because it's just a little bit softer. However, you're more than welcome to use black, and again, gray if you have that. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go around very, very lightly around my candy cane. Do you see how light I'm going? Extremely, extremely light. All right, so do you see? Super, super, super light. Now, what I'm gonna start doing, I'm actually gonna go super, super close, and you guys may see camera blocking my face, and that's okay, right? We're not here for my face, we're here for this wonderful drawing. So I'm gonna go extremely close because I want to show you guys a super close up on this, and I might even move my light a little bit closer. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, great. And now we're gonna start lightly shading from this edge in this upper edge. You're gonna do it extremely, extremely light. So don't push on your pencil, and what I recommend, don't hold your pencil like this. Hold it flat, or as flat as you can. We're gonna build our intensity from super light to darker as we go. So don't try to get too dark too fast, because it's just not gonna look good if you do. All right. Do you see? It's starting getting a little bit darker. And now I'm gonna grab my Q-tip. I'm just gonna smudge that, but only the inner part. So you don't want to smudge the outer part. Or if you do accidentally smudge the outer part, you can just grab an eraser and clean that up, because we want the outer line to be crisp. I know it's hard to tell right now because of how light everything is, but guys, trust me, trust the process. This is supposed to be this way for now. And I'm gonna continue on this outer edge here. Again, extremely light, holding my pencil almost flat, just shading that from that outline in. Not too far in, just a little bit, you see? Shading, 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 shading. Now, I don't go past this curve, by the way, so I'm gonna stop here. Again, if you need to, you can smudge it a little bit with a Q-tip. Now, here is a different story. So what I'm gonna do here, so if here I did my edge, and right from the edge, I started darkening towards the inside. So on the inner part, so on right here, I'm going to do different. I'm not going to do it right from the edge. I'm actually going to leave a gap. So gap and then darkening. So I'm going to start darkening right here, not right at the edge. So again, just a tiny touch. Try to use your pencil flat again, and you can either do this adding little pencil lines following the shape of your candy cane, or you can switch to this. Do you see? Yes, I am bringing the shading to the edge, but I'm concentrating and I'm trying to create the darkest point, not right at the edge, but right here. So overall, I'm going to show you like this. So this is my candy cane, right? I'm darkening here. Then I am darkening here, but not too dark. And the darkest point that I'm creating is right here. So this is what I'm trying to create, just very lightly. So just continue doing that. I'm not gonna go too far past this curve as well. And again, we can grab a Q-tip, just smudge that a little bit. You see it's already starting to get a shape. Slowly, slowly, because that's what we're doing here. We're doing everything nice and slow. We're not in rush. We're just nice and slow layering everything. Trying to slowly, slowly build that color. And then I'm going to merge it right into outline here. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the same brown. I'm going to push a little bit harder right here. Because that's where I'm going to have my shadow. You see, just darkening up this part just a little bit. And then once I darkened up that part a little bit, I'm going to bring my drop shadow. So again, now I'm going to start shading, but right from that shadow towards the background. And again, use your pencil flat if you can, or as flat as you can. And just a little bit right here. So it should be as more concentrated closer to that edge and that outline, and then as you go further you want to push on your pencil less and less and less and just get it lighter, lighter and lighter. And again, after we have that, we can grab a Q-tip and just smudge it. And guys, I know sometimes it looks like everything is so foggy, it doesn't look like there are any sharp lines, and you feel like maybe, oh, your camera is not focused. No, it's actually just very soft pencil. It's not camera. Alrighty, so again, we're just building it little by little, right? So I'm gonna leave it for now, and I'm gonna continue down here, And I'm going to add a bit more visible outline, super lightly again. And then a little bit right here. Great. Now let's move on to the other side. Keep this as light as it is. Don't add anything else to it. And we're going to add, do you see how there's dark area here? So we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side here. Right, and I'm going to add that shadow from the line out again. Let's smudge it, but only towards the outside, so don't smudge it towards the inside. All right, great, and you can add just a touch of shadow on the outside here too, just a little bit in this corner. Great. So now I'm gonna continue this. So do you remember how we added here? But I'm gonna skip this part and I'm just gonna add it here. Just a little bit again. Very lightly, closer to our bow. And I'm gonna pick it up right here. So again, we're not gonna do it right from the edge, right? Because it's gonna look the same. What we're gonna do, we're gonna leave a bit of a gap, and the darkest point is gonna be like we did here, a little bit further from the edge. So somewhere right here. And then you can darken up a little bit going towards the edge. So it's not straight white paper there. Just you want to maintain the darkest point somewhere at around here. And again, if you want to grab your Q-tip, you can smudge that. You can do all of this without smudging. It's so not necessary. It's very optional. Yeah, it adds something to it. But also it's not like if you don't do it, it's gonna ruin. It's totally fine if you don't do it. Not a big deal. All right, you see our candy cane is slowly shaping up. Now I'm gonna move on to the rest of my candy cane. So again, I'm gonna go on my outline now. And I'm gonna add slightly darker outline here and here closer to the bow because there will be a shadow there. And then as I go further, it's gonna lighten up again. You see my top one is almost invisible here, and my bottom one is a little bit darker here too. And then from this darker outline, I'm going to continue pretty much the same intensity shadow as I have right here. Smudge it too. And a little bit, just a touch on the other side. All right, that's good. And now we're going to continue doing what we were doing here. So the same darkest point would be right here. So you basically just extend this segment all the way down. All right, so do you see it goes all the way down? Yes, this whole side is darkened up, but the darkest point is not right at the edge, but a little bit closer towards the middle, just a touch. And right here, I'm actually going to darken up from the edge in, but just so lightly. So very similar to what we did right here. And that will make our candy cane actually rounded, because on the lightest point is going to remain right here, right? That's the only straight white spot. Yes, this spot is light, but it's not white. We did go over it just so very lightly, right? So the only remaining straight white spot is right in the middle of our candy cane. And that's how we want it. All right. And I'm gonna add a bit of shadow underneath my bow too. And we will always, we can always add that in the end too, and we will add a bit more in the end. So it's not something you should really worry about now or pay a lot of attention to, but it's good to start right away as well. All right, so that's the base of our candy cane. Do you see how it starts shaping up? Because we're working on a realistic candy cane, right? So this is the realism for you. Alrighty, guys. Alright, guys, and now I'm gonna move on to my red, and you're actually gonna start using your bright red. So you're gonna grab the lighter version. So this one, for me personally, is the one I'm gonna be using. And there are couple different ways we're going to be using. So we're going to start by using it quite light, so not a full saturation or a pressure. All right, so let me show you. So we're going to start adding those colorful pieces. And how we're going to do it, we're going to color each side, leaving the middle fully white. But we're not going to color it at a full saturation or a full potential of our pencil. We're going to go maybe about 50%. So let me show you what I mean by that. Let's grab our first chunk right here. So following the same shape we created earlier, just going to color in maybe 50% pressure this little chunk, and I'm going to leave very middle uncovered, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to color in this little chunk right here. Do you see? I color them in at about 50% pressure or saturation. So I'm not using a full potential of my pencil for this. And I left the middle completely open. So now, optionally, you can grab your Q-tip. Here's mine. And you can smudge the red, but just inside, do not touch this middle part. So you can smudge it a little bit here and here to just make it a little bit solid, more solid inside those pieces. Don't go close or over the outer line or the middle. And now what you're going to do, you're going to grab Same pencil, but now you're gonna go the full potential of your pencil. And you're only gonna color in this part. So the middles of your middles, basically. So like this. You can go a bit closer to the middle than to the edge. So do you see what's happening? And now you just blend it a bit towards the edge and towards the middle. And what you will end up with is a gradient from super, super saturated red, somewhere around here and here. Then it gets more transparent closer to the edge. So do you see super saturated red here? Then it gets transparent closer to the edge, so it gets like a nice gradient here, and it creates nice gradient towards the side too. So that's what you want here. And you're gonna do the same thing on every single one of them. Just try to maintain this line consistent, the break line in between. So let's do next one. So do you see I colored in like a light version? You can smudge it if you want now, and then you're gonna go with a full-on strength. And then create nice gradient and merge it into that lighter version you added earlier. And we're just going to continue doing that. And also sharpen your pencil as needed, because the time will come when you're going to need to sharpen it. So just whenever that time comes, sharpen your pencil. right. All right, and we'll just keep going. All right, let's sharpen my pencil again. I have to sharpen it quite often here. Great. So again, I'm adding the darkest point, the most saturated point, and then I'm slightly spreading it towards the middle and blending it towards the outside. right, and that's it for this color for now. I'm gonna put this pencil aside and I'm actually gonna grab my darker red pencil. Here it is, and I kind of want to finish my candy cane before I move on to my bow. So what I'm gonna do, using this pencil, I'm gonna go around this 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 section and a little bit right here, and I'm gonna add a bit of this darker color. So right in the middle of this section here, I'm gonna add a bit of this one. You see, it adds just a touch of darkness. And right here too. So approximately where our darkest point for our brown was, for our light part of candy cane, which now, because we have other contrast colors, you can hardly see it. And we're gonna darken it up in a second with our black. But yeah, I'm just gonna add here, 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 just a little bit of that darker red. And I want to add it on the bottoms here too. So right here, right here, right here, and right here. And do you see what I'm saying when what I meant when I said that it's optional? You can hardly see it. All right, that's great. So now I'm gonna go back to my black, and I'm gonna go around pretty much the same areas for my candy cane, but I'm gonna go a little bit darker. And this time I'm gonna use straight black. So I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna push in it a little harder. Just gonna create that darker line, because now in comparison we already have a nice brown base now, but it doesn't have enough contrast now that we added red. So I'm just gonna add a bit more, and again just spread it a little bit towards the outside. So there's a nice drop shadow there. I'm gonna do a little bit right here too. You can smudge them if you want to, but you don't have to. And right here as well. Maybe just a touch on the other side. All right, and I'm gonna add just a touch of that right here. So do you remember how the darkest point was right here? But here on this, you're gonna keep it as light as you can too. So don't push on your pencil too hard. Yes, well, we'll darken it up, but no pushing. Very, very lightly. We're just gonna layer some black. And you can layer it over your red too. So you don't have to avoid your red at this point. You see? Just darkening that up a little bit. Do you see? It's getting better and better. All right, if you want to, you can add a smidge here and there for the other side, but honestly, you don't have to. You can just keep it as is. Okay, I think I'm happy with my candy cane. I don't think I want to be adding anything else to it. Well, let's add a bow and then we'll see. And if there's something still missing that we want to add, we'll add it after the bow. All right, we're gonna move on to our bow now, and I'm gonna go back to my first red, so to that light red, and I'm gonna be working from. So there are gonna be lighter areas here, and there are gonna be darker areas. So do you see this is gonna be the lightest area, and there's gonna be darker area here and a darker area around, but not right at the edge. So the edge is gonna actually be a bit lighter. And the darkest point is going to be right here and right here, and a bit right here. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to add this. And you can go ahead and kind of start coloring it in a way. And this is going to be another dark point. I'm just want to lay them out so I know where they are. And then I'm going to color everything in. Okay, so I laid out my darkest points. What I'm gonna do, using my pencil quite flat, again, not like this, but like this, I'm just gonna color in the entire thing. Quite light. So you use your pencil as horizontal as you can for this. Great. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the side. So again, I'm gonna start by just marking up my darker areas. It's gonna be this point, it's gonna be a bit darker. Somewhere right here too. And right here. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and color in the entire thing. And then I'm gonna color in this part fully as well. And this part fully too. Alright, and now I'm gonna grab my Q-tip and I'm gonna smudge all of this. But only inside, do not smudge the outside. Or if you accidentally did, you can always grab an eraser and clean it up a little bit, because you wanna have those lines nice and crisp. Don't want them to be foggy. Okay, great. And now I'm gonna continue going with the same pencil, but I'm just gonna continue building that intensity. So let's start, and at this point, because we already have a lot going on, it would be more ideal if you use, let's say, a pencil under, sorry, not a pencil, a piece of paper underneath your hand. So basically clean paper, of course, not this paper, but just clean paper so you don't smudge anything. So I'm just gonna continue going here, and I'm gonna build the intensity where it needs to be. So I'm gonna add those upper area. I'm gonna make it darker, of course. Okay, I need sharpener. All right, now this part, I'm gonna darken it up, and then I'm gonna blend it and create a gradient towards going up and towards going down. All right, so let's wrap it around here. And spread it towards the middle a little bit. So just blend it towards the middle. So do you see this is the darkest point, and then it has nice gradient blending towards the middle. And then again, the next darkest point is going to be around here. I'm just going to color this in quite well. And then I'm going to blend it towards the outside. All right, that's awesome. Now let's go on to this part, or this part doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go here. So here, again, I'm gonna start by cleaning up my lines a little bit. All right, and now I'm gonna keep the lightest point right here. So the darkest is gonna be here and here. So let's start with the corners. So when you work with the darkest colors and then you create a blending, now that's where you want to hold your pencil like this. When you're trying to cover large areas really light, you want to hold your pencil pretty flat, but when you go for the darkest and precise color and precise area, you want to hold it like this to get nice sharp lines. Now I'm going to darken up the top too. All right, that's pretty good. I'm doing the best I can with this pencil. But then we're going to switch to a darker one when we're going to add more darkness here with actually darker pencil. Let's do the middle. For the middle, I'm just going to add a couple lines that separate it, and then I'm going to darken up the top and the bottom. bottom, and my middle is going to be the lightest point here. You see, right here. And then this part I'm going to do similar to what I did on the other side. I'm going to start by darkening up the area that's going to be the darkest, and then sort of blending it towards the outside, towards the surroundings. So yeah, it's exact same steps as on the other one. All right, and our last one. All right, that looks pretty awesome. Now I'm gonna move on to the darkest red. So I'm gonna put this one aside and I'm gonna grab a darker red, and I'm just gonna darken up any areas that need to be darker. So for example, right here, I'm gonna darken it up. Right here, I'm gonna darken it up. Right here too. Definitely right here. And just so on. Continue going and darkening it up in any area that needs to be darker. Right, and now I'm gonna move to my black. You can do brown first and then black, but I'm just gonna go with black. And so with black, you want to be careful. You don't want to add too much. So again, I'm going to be darkening up the areas that need to be darkened up and the areas that need to have a bit more contrast. Just have to be a bit more careful with this one. So again, I'm going very lightly. In a certain areas, I'm going to be pushing a little bit harder, but in general, I'm going quite light. Because I still want to keep this bow red. I don't want to turn it into black and red bow. I just want to make certain areas look like a shadow, but not like actual black elements. And also because we're aiming for realism here, you always want to build the intensity slowly. Okay, let's darken that up. And a bit on the bottom too. Ta-da! Alright, so now I want to add a bit of shadow underneath my bow because I feel like right now my bow is not really merged to my candy cane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of shadow underneath my bow right here. And I'm going to color that in. You see now it looks a bit more actually merged, like they're on the same image versus two not connected elements. And I'm gonna add a bit of shadow underneath here as well. So just a little bit. Like that. That's a good amount of shadow for me personally. looking pretty good. And now you can actually grab even more black with more pressure and just go at it over a couple areas that you want to have darker or more contrast. Okay, and I think I'm gonna go a little bit darker right here on my red. Maybe a bit here too. Okay, let's sharpen up. For the darkest details, you always want to use a very sharp pencil because you don't want to have fat lines. You want to have nice and crisp lines. Oh yeah. This is looking awesome. And guys, this is pretty much it. Our beautiful candy cane is ready. A beautiful, realistic candy cane is ready. Now the only thing that's left here for you is to find a good spot and to put your signature or your initials or anything else that you would like. Let's take a closer look at that. All right, I personally really love it. Looks very real. It looks like I want to grab it and eat it. And I'm gonna sign mine. I'll sign it right here. Ta-da! And now we are officially done. Thank you guys for joining me. I really hope I'll get to see some of your drawings later. Please feel free to take a photo and post them on our Facebook. You can post it on our actual Facebook page or on our Facebook group. We have a group that's dedicated to people sharing their works that they have created using our tutorials. So we would love to see how they turned out. If you would like to post them, which I hope you would, there is a link to the group in the description of this video. So feel free to just take a look. It's right there and you can just click on it and it will bring you right to the group. Yeah, I would love to see how they turned out. If you're shy and you would rather not, that's okay. No pressure at all. And guys, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them here in comments to this video, or you can always email us. And if this is your first time drawing with us, or you just accidentally stumbled on this video and you enjoyed either following along or just watching it, feel free to like our channel and subscribe. We have a lot of wonderful drawing and painting video tutorials right here on our YouTube, and we constantly adding more, pretty much 1 or 2 a week, so there will always be something new and nice. And if you guys really enjoyed this and you want to say thank you by tipping me, you absolutely can do that. There's a link in the description of this video as well, and it's a PayPal link, and you can just click on that and choose send money and any amount that you would like. And of course, tips are always appreciated. And thank you to those of you who've already supported me. Thank you through the website or through YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. And that's pretty much it. I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.